Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Deiser. I'm here with my Dami Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Let's get right into the news. One of the stories that came up first thing this morning was about female bodybuilders and competition, I guess they're bikini competition competitors and sort of the training they're doing. And some controversy around a gym owner in Australia who's saying that, you know, she's in the industry and she's seeing these really harmful things being done by the competitors and, you know, wants them to stop. So she's getting out in the media and talking about the things they're doing. Some of the things really threw me. Like, I get that steroids are being used, estrogen blockers are being used by these female competitors.
Are they bikini competitors?
Bikini competitors
bodybuilding?
And bodybuilding, both. Okay, so just talking about the competition culture and what it's like and what people take to get to where they want to be.
Okay.
Steroids, estrogen blockers, and then the peptides, which are recently in the news. But some of the things really surprised me. Hard liquor and wine, I believe, for drying themselves out right before the event. So people are at the event, they're gorging on food and chugging wine and chugging hard liquor before going on stage.
So they dehydrate?
Yes, in the moment. And the other thing is cocaine is being used in a significant way. Yeah. So cocaine is being used in a significant way to get up for workouts.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's scary.
These are the things you listed? Yeah,
and then the most controversial one being this new steroid, which starts with a C, and it's something. It's similar to salbutamol, the inhaler, in chemical compound, but it's a steroid that helps you get stronger and leaner. These things. So,
well, I'm aware of, laxative abuse of diuretics, abuse of uppers, which I don't even know what that would actually be, per se, ephedrine, and other things. Obviously, basically starvation. Binge purge cycles. Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of this is a real secret. I mean, those things that's it, cocaine.
Yeah, it's not a secret. I just think it's surprising.
Yeah. I think the irony of it is that they're called health and fitness people. When what's going on isn't healthy or fit.
No.
You know, it's manipulating and terrible for the body and the mind. But I mean, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I was around this world, and you know, and again, like, I don't want to get a bunch of emails or nasty comments saying, you know, I'm healthy and I do this. Yeah, I'm sure it's not everywhere. It's like everything. I understand there are people that do it right. Actually, I have a girlfriend that I made through the fitness industry that is, I know for a fact, the most natural, consistent. She's amazing.
Definitely.
So if you want to look up to somebody in the fitness industry, she's just extremely disciplined. So if she's someone that, if you want to look up to somebody, like, I know for a fact she's natural and doesn't abuse anything and has basically dedicated the last 10 years to building her physique. But it took 10 years.
Right.
To get to where she is.
Okay.
And consistently. She eats no junk. Ever.
Holy.
Literally. You know, so there are people that are healthy, so please don't bombard me with that stuff. I'm not bashing everybody. But the reality is there's a lot of abuse that goes on in these circles. A lot. You know, and once I kind of left the circle of, you know, the competitive, how that whole field, I had so many people that I looked up to and thought they looked so amazing emailing me and saying, like, look, I'm addicted to laxatives. I'm, you know, binging and purging. I'm, you know, on a lot of ephedra. I need help. And these are people that I looked at and was like, God, why can't I get abs like hers? Like, why can't I do, why can't I be...
Yeah.
And it's so funny. And then they'd contact me and be like, obviously, you're healthy and balanced, and I want to be healthy and balanced. I mean, I probably received 10 to 15 emails within the first few months of completely separating myself from that industry. So, I know that those abuses happen.
Wow.
And again, there are people that are just really disciplined and healthy.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm not saying it's a whole industry thing, but the industry does breed being unhealthy.
Mm-hmm. Which is so ironic because, then they go on to be the faces of health and wellness.
They get on magazine covers. Mm-hmm. And then people are like, I want to look like that. And the reality is a lot of, and like with the exception of the people like this female friend of mine that she does consistently always have abs. There are very few people that, even in the health and fitness world, that are that lean and have like the veins in their stomach and all that stuff. They don't look like that all the time.
No.
That's usually after like 12 weeks of hardcore dieting, water manipulation, sodium manipulation, and exercising their asses off, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get on that cover, and then that's what everyone wants to be, but also live in this balanced life of not working out for 3 hours a day, and you want to have wine on the weekend with your girlfriends, or you want to have a treat once a week. And for most people, that's unattainable.
Mm-hmm. Well, the tricky thing is blowing up right after you go through
and
the photo shoot.
It.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen women that have these, 22-inch waists and, like I said, veins in their stomach, and then you see them, 8 weeks later, and they're up 40, 50 pounds. It's really scary to see what they're doing to their bodies. Mm-hmm. And the scariest part is, a lot of them aren't binging after. No. They're just kind of being normal.
Then they go back to normal, right?
They stop their laxatives, they stop their diuretics, and they just eat like a normal human being. And their body says, oh God, we have to hang on to everything because we may go into starvation again. It's a really unhealthy mindset for people to be in.
And it's scary because, when these people become role models, like the select few that are doing this, they become role models, and then you have people just going into these competitions and thinking it's normal to chug wine before going on stage, and the impact on the system
when you're starving and then you're chugging wine
with all the sugar. And then they just came out with the brain cell studies the other day about cocaine and how you can actually watch the cells of your brain die in a test tube when they were doing cocaine studies.
All what? To have abs? Or to stand on a stage and have a couple selective men or women say that you're the prettiest, leanest one. I mean, that's the part that really drove me crazy. Aside from all the unhealthy, whatever, the behaviors that go on. You put yourself in a position where you're competing against other women based on physical appearance. No matter what anybody says it is. It's based on physical appearance.
Yes.
And then you get up there, and most of the time it's, 2 men, maybe a woman. Mm-hmm. And then they sit there and they judge you in a bikini against each other, and then what they believe is the most attractive, especially in the bikini fitness world. Mm-hmm. And I've known multiple girls that got a note from judges that said, and when they were like, how could I do better? They said, well, if you got breast implants, you'd be more balanced. You'd be more balanced. And I know at least 5 to 10 girls that got them.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I remember when I went for a photo shoot, the guy taking my photos gave me the unsolicited advice that if I got breast implants, my body would be more balanced.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. Because the volume that I had lost from my breasts, blah, 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 if I replaced that by getting breast implants. And I mean, I was in such a moronic, vulnerable state.
Vulnerable is the word, yeah.
That I probably would have got them.
Right.
Because I thought, well, I want to be on magazine covers.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be this. I want to stand on the stage and people tell me that I'm beautiful and that I win some banner thing. Like, I don't know. I was in a really foggy, weird state. Mm-hmm. And, well, I was finding out my path.
Right.
I was finding my true path. But to think of myself now, like, receiving advice from a man with a camera telling me I should get breast implants.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine.
If I could go back to that moment.
Yeah.
Right?
If you were there now, what do you think you would say?
Well, first of all, the whole situation would never happen.
Right.
But if a man just unsolicitedly told me that I could go further in the fitness world if I would just get breast implants.
What do you think you would say? Oh my gosh. It'd be scary.
It would be scary.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with breast implants.
Oh my God, no. But it would be from
the influence of a male telling you,
or a woman, anybody telling me, your body would be better if. No, like, and again, please don't send me hate about breast implants, because I have lots of girlfriends that I adore that have breast implants, but, you know, they came from a position of power that it made them feel something. Yes. And they came up with the idea, and it's their...
That's important.
Any change, anything. It's what we talk about weight loss, you know, like, if you're doing it so that, you know, someone finds you hot, like, it's not going to last. It's not a healthy thing. Mm-hmm. That should not be your motivation. No. Like, can it be in the realm of motivation? Sure, it can be in there. Yeah. But it can't be your foundational reason. So, yeah, I'm not at all. I'm saying someone telling me what I should do with my body to appear more attractive in the world. Mm-hmm.
It'd be going down.
Yeah, it'd be going down.
For sure. Well, I mean, it's just... I find all of this scary with the chugging of the wine and the doing the cocaine to work out. There's other ways to get energy to work out.
But I mean, she's not even mentioning the laxatives and diuretics.
No,
and
well,
ephedra, which I know for a fact is so prevalent. Mm-hmm. Just by the amount of emails that I received out of the small group of people that I met. Mm-hmm. You know.
Definitely. Yeah.
And again, like, if you are looking for someone to follow in the fitness world, I'll link my girlfriend's page that is just 100% natural. She's just
hardcore.
She's hardcore. She literally never has a treat. I don't think she drinks at all.
No, I'm pretty
sure
she
at
doesn't
all.
Drink, yeah.
Like, she's just, and she's very healthy, and she appears very healthy, and she, like, that's verbatim who she is, and this didn't come overnight. She has worked her butt off for 10 years. Mm-hmm. You know, and that was one of the upsetting things, too. Like, I remember watching her go through this, and she got rejected on stage so many times. Mm-hmm. And she was so healthy and so real, and, you know, out of everybody, she was actually what should be upheld in the health and fitness world. Like, she's an athlete. Mm-hmm. She is an actual athlete.
Definitely.
And she was getting compared to these people that were doing these types of things and just had these ginormous breast implants and, you know, just were sickly otherwise. Mm-hmm. You know, just really tiny, and none of them stayed in the fitness industry, and she's still going.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Good for her. Mm-hmm. Well, story number 2 is a little different. It's not on the side of health per se. It's more on the side of world conservation, which, you know, I love. Mm-hmm. Apparently, last April, San Francisco put in a bill for their city to ban plastic water bottles.
Oh, I like that.
And this is last April, and it's just in the news now, that over the next 4 years, they're putting in a ban where you cannot have a plastic water bottle unless it's a detrimental situation where there's no other water available and all you have is this one water. Anyways, there's going to be a fine of $1,000, and they're completely removing plastic from the city.
So that means all the companies that bring water are going to have to be in what?
Glass.
So we're going back to glass. Mm-hmm. Isn't that going to give a whole nother issue?
Well, I don't know if it's going back to glass or if it's just...
cardboard? Like I see now, like, boxed water.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
I can't imagine Pepsi in a box. I think I would eat the box.
I mean, the goal is to reduce the amount of plastic in the ocean, and they're trying to start with this city. They want to be the change, and then have other cities follow with absolutely no plastic. Because San Francisco is literally the best city at recycling plastic. Yet they still want to remove it completely because they only do an 80% job. 20% of the plastic still ends up in the landfill. So yeah, they're going to completely wipe it out, and we're going to start with that city. I think it should go nationwide. I think it should go international.
But what would be... So we go back to glass.
Go back to glass, or I'm not sure. Nothing. Water bottles. Bring your own water.
I mean, yeah, that would be
wonderful. Like, why do we need to buy water? You know, in this day and age, like...
But it's one of those things, like, can we go back?
Yeah. I don't know. All I know is that if we don't make changes by the year 2050, there's going to be more plastic in the ocean than there is fish. And that is a literal fact based on the growth curves of what is happening between plastic and the loss of fish.
Ugh, that's so upsetting.
So we have to make dramatic changes. It can't just be like little changes here and there. So this is a huge change. No more plastic in this city.
So, wow.
Yeah. We can't have a situation where our kids are in a world where there's more plastic in the ocean. They'll know the ocean as being, oh, that's where the plastic is. They won't know it, oh, that's where the fish is. It'll be really different.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. No.
You know, that's only 40 years.
No, I think I'm interested to see how it goes.
Me too. Me too. Got to make major changes.
Major changes.
So, anyways, this is almost a year after it was announced that it's getting in the media. So, it needs to be promoted. The third story, and you're gonna love this one, is they did this study on 750 people in 1968. They're all 12-year-olds in school.
Okay.
And they balanced it out for IQ and social economic factors, and then they tested them again in 2008 to see who was the most successful financially of these 12-year-olds, 750 of them, 2008. The people who, there was many different things they looked at for these 12-year-olds, but the really interesting thing was the people who made the most money when they turned 50 were the people who were rule breakers and defied the authority of their parents when they were 12. They made the most money when they were 50. What do you think of that?
Sounds like I'm going to be very rich.
Sounds like you're going to be super rich. That's exactly, when I read it, I thought of you.
If my mom hears this, she'll be like, she's going to be so rich.
Yeah, exactly. You wait. So there was two other factors that contributed to wealth. There. Studiousness, based on what the teachers thought of the kids. So if they actually did their work, and they actually studied and grew at the time. And then one other factor that didn't really matter. I can pull it up. But the most important thing was that they were the most defiant to their parents, and they broke the most rules.
Wow, that is funny. Well, I loved, what is the name of that guy that, David and Goliath, he wrote that, David and Goliath?
Malcolm Gladwell.
I mean, he's very controversial, but I loved when he spoke about, people that have, dyslexia or things of that nature, or social whatever issues when they're younger. They often become, the CEOs or, successful entrepreneurs of the world, because from a very young age, they learn how to work out around problems that they have, and also they learn how to get other people to help them accomplish tasks. So they become like management.
They're good at delegating, absolutely. Right? They're critical thinkers, and they're good at delegating.
So you have to be critical thinker if you don't, think on the same... If the educational system isn't built for your brain kind of deal, you have to be creative and find a way to make it work.
Yeah, to get through. Yeah.
And I found that so very true. I really resonated with that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it when I hear that, it reminds me of you as well, because you think completely different than I do.
I know.
Like, that's why we work so well together, is when you come up with an idea or a thought, it's something totally on the other spectrum than what I would even come up with.
I know, and I think that's why we entertain each other so much.
Oh, it's so funny. I think
that's part of our relationship, because we both just are, the way we think is just completely different, and we both find each other so entertaining.
Definitely. Now, if we look at this list here, the people who did the best career-wise, now they balanced it out for IQ and economic status at the time, but it's so interesting. Direct and indirect influences of student characteristics, responsible student, and teacher-rated studiousness. So those would be me.
Oh yeah, that's you.
And then rule breaking and defiance of parental authority.
That's me.
Also contributed. So interesting. I mean, they also looked at inattentiveness, school entitlement, sense of inferiority, pessimism, impatience. These ones did not do well. They didn't contribute to the financial wealth. But these other three, isn't that interesting? Yeah. So what do you think it is about defying your parents and being a rule breaker at the age of 12 that leads to a life of wealth?
Maybe self-confidence. seeing the world through your own perceptual lens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we know the people who make the most money, they have this ability to see beyond the norms.
Right. Like, my dad, he passed away a few years ago. And when we were looking at his things, he had in his drawer a bunch of notes that I wrote him about how to parent when I was little.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I find
Those
it
are
so
the
funny.
best notes.
So he obviously found it very entertaining. And I remember doing it. I would write him a note about what he should work on as a parent. And I would often leave it on his pillow. And then it's so funny because when we had looked through his things, like he kept these notes.
Yeah.
And it's so entertaining to look back
What
on.
were some of the things that you were trying to teach him about parenting as a 12-year-old?
One of them, I was telling him that he should practice what he preaches. So, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, the brazenness, like, I just don't know where I got it.
Yeah.
It's just my poor father. So, I wrote this huge letter about how if he's going to, employ these ideals in parenting, that he's going to have to be very rigid about being the rules himself. Yeah. And my God.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's so funny.
I love that.
It's just so funny. Why would I do that?
Yeah. So you were actually you were trying to enforce the authority because you didn't feel like the authority was represented. You were bringing a different set of...
No, I was just telling him what I believed about parenting.
Oh my gosh. That is awesome.
Yeah, confidence.
Yeah, I guess that does breed confidence, doesn't it? When you're breaking the rules and creating your own way.
Oh my god.
I mean, those ages from 6 to 12, when you decide what the world is going to be based on the experiences you've been through.
Yes.
So you go through all these things, and then all of a sudden 12, 13, 14, the world is like this, and this is how I succeed.
It's crazy.
It's very crazy.
Oh, I just had a moment of thinking, if I have a child that's leaving me notes on my pillow.
Oh my gosh.
Telling me how to parent.
The best.
Oh, it's so entertaining.
It is. Sometimes we just think back to all those things that you told your parents. So funny.
Oh.
So funny. That's Healthy Rebel Radio. Thanks for listening. Episode 16, and have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamiHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamiHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamiHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at DamiHealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.